and we're starting a new lecture series. This time, we are going to really start expanding on a lot of the topics that I did in the first video series that I did. I am focusing on understanding history from a health and wellness perspective, and a lot of the things that we are seeing today, a lot of times it either already happened or is eerily close to the things that we have seen before. And I really think we need to understand that with this rise of anti-intellectualism, it is going to wreak havoc in more ways than one. And my goal for you is to provide you with context, with nuance, with intersectionality, and help to really frame some of these conversations. And I know sometimes you might be like, girl, how does this apply today? That's part of the problem. A lot of times we want to hurry up and get to the point, but we have to build in that muscle of curiosity, of patience, of understanding. And we really have to start looking at the text and the historical documents that help us understand how we got here. Because to be frank, we're all sitting on stolen land right now. So a lot of the things that we are seeing right now are really quite interesting, to say the least. But when you know your rights, your history, and various aspects of just how society and government and laws and policy work, I think that will provide you with the tools and materials necessary to stay woke, but also it'll reduce that fear. So I'm going to show you 3 books, and all of the books that I have recommended prior, I will link them to this particular video, but they all set the stage for how we are where we are today, and that it gives you that historical background, and it also will help you understand why a lot of Black folks are like, I'm good. Y'all have fun now. And it's not to say that we don't care, because so many people do. I think we also need to recognize that advocacy is not performative. It's not activism, is not an in-your-face kind of thing. There are many of us who have different skills. I myself come from having an advocacy lens, and I really try hard to work my magic in other areas, particularly in the spaces that I frequent. So for me, sharing knowledge from a healthcare perspective, from a health and wellness perspective, from a how can you help your loved ones receive care in these circumstances, tag me in, coach. How can I help you with just understanding health information to get you where you need to be? Because right now, all of us need to be focused on being the best versions of ourselves that we can be, because you can clearly see that so much is being done to cause intentional harm. So it's very important for us to make sure that we're working together. I know that could be hard for some folk, but let's get into these books. And it's hard because I'm trying to figure out which one to show you first. But this one is called Tales of Two Americas, Stories of Inequality in a Divided Nation. And I'm going to be rereading all of these books because they are exceptional. This one I like this one because it definitely does a good job with storytelling and giving specific context, and just to give you some information about it, it's talking about just death by gentrification, field work, American work, some houses, trash food, mobility, youth from every quarter, white debt, Leander. It's so much wealth in this book. And it's an easy read to me. Obviously, that is going to be subjective, but I love how the authors really bring these stories to life that apply to today. So we're going to be looking at this one. And ooh, Michelle Alexander, the new Jim Crow. Okay. This book and the next book that I'm going to show you, I need you to read these. Go to Libby, go to your public library, get these books, these two books especially, because it is eerily creepy how this book and the other, okay, I'm just going to show you. So the next book is White Poverty, and this is written by Dr. William Barber. And this book is really talking about a lot of myths on race and class, and talking about how can we actually start to rebuild what we consider democracy. There is another book that I have, it's called Myths About Black People. I have to check the author, but that is to me an adjunct to this book. So it's just so much, y'all. It's just so much. This is why I'm going to be starting just building a library for y'all to start looking at a lot of these texts and really talking through these. But it's really looking at the crisis we can't see. Only Black folks want change in America. Facing white poverty wounds. Why we must live from the bottom. Like, chef's kiss. So that is an introduction to the text that we are going to be reviewing. And then I'm also going to be layering in a lot of artists that I was going to say no like and no like, love, and treasure. Again, I know that's subjective, but anyway. I'm going to incorporate things from the movie Sinners and Cowboy Carter and GNX and other works from Kendrick Lamar, for example, on top of other artists, to really paint the picture of why it's so important for us to learn and value the wonderful minds that have either come before us or are with us today. Remember, Ruby Bridges is still alive. So, like, we have, I call her my grandma. She's not my grandmother. But we have still a living member that experienced the Tulsa Massacre. So, with that being said, I really want us to build that muscle for just listening and understanding and wanting to be open. I implore you to be open. Know that these is my comments too. So any type of negative whataboutisms blocked. That's how this is going to work. We're going to keep dialogue respectful as we did in the past. And when there are opportunities for me to bring in what I spoke about in our past lecture series to this, I will link those videos. So with that, it is time.